Hello. Here we go. I wanted to get most of the stuff together. Hello. Welcome. Ooh, okay. Hopefully my dog didn't have to be here. Well, this be great. So welcome. I wanna go ahead and get this rehousing done and show you all this new Mr. Spider. Hi, ladies. How are you doing? I don't know if you caught my earlier video. I had to get it out of the box just to make sure it was going to be okay. Hold on a second. All right, gave him a couple pieces away. So, when I got it earlier, I had to go ahead and put it, I had to go ahead and open the box and just make sure everything was okay, but I didn't put it all in this stuff. So, that's why I did like quick little live stream earlier. I'm actually gonna, just in case it falls on me, I don't want it to, you know, like layers when I'm dealing with the stuffing. So, so what I've gone and done is I've cleaned up the enclosure already, and I'm gonna go ahead and get that ready before we're talking about it. But I do want to address quickly the packaging. So I can't stress enough how, so I'm gonna address the packaging right now, and then while I'm making the enclosure, we're gonna talk about, bringing in a wild caught species and when it's okay to do that, because it's not always okay to do that. If it's something that's established in the hobby, there's no reason to bring in wild caught specimens. But my dog's trying to go. I've got like a little bin with all my, not a little bin, no, a bin with all my stuff, right, to do my scooter stuff, and he is trying to get in there. I feel like to move it, it's like to pull it down. So, box is real cute. I don't know if I'm going to do that, but okay. So, the box is real cute. I gotta give him that, right? I think this box is adorable. I like the animals on it. It's cute. I like that it's pre-made. It's cute. That's about the only positive thing I'm going to say about this. They were very quick to answer the phone. We had a heat delay. They were great about that. Their customer service was on point. The problem I have is with the packaging. And if it weren't so egregious, I would not be saying something about it. And I'm not like a huge YouTuber that everyone's going to be like, I don't care, but still, I think it's important either way. So, as is typical, it came in a box with a styrofoam lining. My dog scooped up a little bit. But it had a styrofoam lining in it, right? And then a styrofoam top. And it had some tissue paper, or some paper, kind of like keeping the little container in check, which is standard. Not me. But what it didn't have was cold pack. And in the summertime, that's something that it should have. It should have a heat pack in the wintertime. It should have a cold pack in the summertime. Just to make sure that the animal's not going to bake. Because if it gets dropped off at, it got dropped off at 9:40. I didn't start work until 11. I planned it out well, but assuming I hadn't, and it had to sit there all day, it could have baked inside the box. So that's not a good thing. But the styrofoam, they get that, and like I said, this box, it was like really cute. And that's what I've got to say that's positive. This box is cute. And then, if you'll notice, if you watched the earlier video, I didn't put it in a temporary, hopefully put her in a temporary enclosure because this already has dirt in it, which is not at all the way that you're supposed to transport and ship tarantulas. You can transport them with paper towel, you can transport them in magnum moss or some other kind of moss, but transporting them like this, in the dirt like this, is just not good. Hold on. Yeah. Sorry, usually he's a lot better than that. But, oh my god. But, in any case, so this came in the dirt. like this, which is not at all the way that you want to transport it, because it was in the box. And this is not, as you can see, there's a lot of open spaces for it to tumble around, which isn't something that you want to have happening with, isn't something that you want to have happening with your tarantula while it's in shipments, because they're very, very fragile. Very fragile. Their abdomen can rupture in shipments if they're tossed around, and not everybody's careful with animals like this. So it's something that you really have to be wary of, and that there wasn't care taken for that, especially, not that any species is more, important than any other species, but especially for a brand new species that's been through all this. Don't laugh at me, Link. I'm trying to handle this without being mean to the dog, and he just thinks it's playtime, and he already twisted my ankle earlier. It's not okay. I have to stop. But, and he's totally trying to derail, because it's like having like 50 toys up in your face, but it's just your dog. Like, please stop. No treats ever again. No, don't give me paw. I don't want paw. Why you go? Okay. Maybe we got it. It tastes like tarantulas. He is a big dog. We don't eat tarantulas here. Spiders are friends, not mindless biting machines. We definitely don't eat them. But I've seen people eat them on naked display. Not something I would do. But yeah, anyway, so this was just not packaged properly. As you can see, there's a lot of empty space, and when I got it, there was dirt all loose inside the box. The little dude's covered in dirt. It's severely stressed out. It's been in this curl the entire time. I have gotten it to stretch out. I don't know if we'll be able to see it. So we're right up here right now. So I have been able to get it to stretch out, but just barely. It does not want to come out of that position because it was scared. It's just like completely tucked because it's been through a lot, and especially if you're transporting it like this, that is not the way to go about it. It's just not a good way to transport them. It needs to be, hopefully she needs to be transported in a much safer manner than what this one was. So I'm hoping that we don't have any damage to this individual. I'm going to do something risky and try and show this to you because I feel like, famous last words, it's not really moving that much, so maybe we have an opportunity. And this is going to be like a really quick little look because I do not want to leave this in my house. Okay. Alright. So that's what we've got. And with old world tarantulas, I'm always a little iffy just because like they look calm like that and look full and be gone. So we're gonna go ahead and get this enclosure set up. That's pretty much the beef I have with the packaging. As you saw when I opened the container, it's just straight dirt. There's no cushioning at all, and that dirt isn't meant to be a cushioning like that, not travel. So I think it will be okay. I think it's just stressed out right now because of everything that it's been through. I mean, it was a huge ordeal. Just, imagine being, it's probably close, I think it is about 3 inches. I think they're a little bit the size actually. So talk about probably like that if it gives a full spread on us with a diagonal leg span. And with the 2.5 inches about, I would say, just by like looking at it. I thought it was going to be a lot smaller. I was going to use this as a catch cup. Doesn't seem sufficient. I already had a container set up as a temporary that was like this tall. Not at all sufficient. So that's why we're going with this one. where the holes I feel like are a little bit too big, but at the same time, the carapace is larger than the holes. The carapace being the head, so if the carapace is larger, you are typically good to go. I might throw like a nylon on top of these, like nails, just to make sure we're okay in that regard. I don't want to have any puppy. But we're gonna go ahead and get this ready and talk about. All right, go ahead and have it. Talk about why it's important to buy captive bred, but in certain circumstances, it's going to be necessary for you to buy livestock. Now, not for everyone, of course, because if you're not trying to do a breeding project with one of these, I highly suggest you just wait until there are captive bred specimens available, because the more just regular hobbyists that are jumping on these full circle, the more that we're going to have an issue with the species becoming endangered and possibly extinct, which is what we're having happen with the Goody Sapphire. If that's something you want, you definitely want to preserve these animals as much as you can. So, go ahead and get my stuff out. Definitely, I'm going to have to break off a piece of the short part. I didn't get that ready ahead of time, but I already see kind of a weakness in here, right there. And that's perfect, because I just need like something skinny like that there. So we're going to go try and get this part of the cork bark off, so I can have that for this one. And then that can go vertically in here. We're going to give it a shallow amount of dirt, because this is an arboreal species. It doesn't, he's chewing on a piece of plastic. This is an arboreal species, so it doesn't need very much dirt. It's going to need a lot more vertical space. So we're going to give it that. But if you are planning on to I'm definitely trying to get a breeding project going for this. I'm really, really hoping I have a female. Obviously not something that they could guarantee me, but I've got my fingers crossed. Really hoping it's going to be. My dog has chewed up my bag, but I've got sphagnum moss, we've got some leaf litter. We're going to put in there. Sphagnum moss is going to hold moisture for it. It lives in bamboo forest, so I assume it's used to a lot of moisture. I want to eventually get some pieces of bamboo for it. I just don't have them right now. So that's something I'll be purchasing in the near future, hopefully. No, doggo. Something in the near future, hopefully, for this guy. But I won't do anything about it until it's time for rehousing. You don't want to just move them because you feel like redecorating their enclosure. That's not really the way to go about it. You definitely want to get rid of them, and you definitely want to move them when they need it, not when you want it, because that's not how it was to be. You know, maybe if you like this. Yeah. Dog wants help, but there we go. Perfect. A little bit too big, but I can work it out. All right. So, all right. So this is just the right width. It's going to provide some space for her to make a web behind the cork. So I'll probably break off this top part if I can, because it doesn't give as much space for it to do it. And then I'll actually anchor it this way. Yeah, just a little bit too big to be in the dirt right now. Yeah, this will do. So if I can put it vertically like this and at an angle, it's going to be just fine inside of there. So this will be our piece of cork part. Put the extra off the side. We're already making a mess. Maybe after you get this new home ready, you will feel a little better, hopefully. That's what I've got my fingers crossed for. I think once it has somewhere to call home, it's gonna settle and just feel a lot better. No, Ozzy, just feel a lot better. Yeah, I am hoping too that most people who heard about this aren't going to just jump online, try and buy it, and saturate the market with consumers as far as it's concerned, because it's just not something we want to do. Right. A little bit, but not too much. So this is, I use rough soil for the most part. Oh my god. Sometimes I will use cocoa fiber. It really depends on the species, how aggressive a burrower it is, things like that. But this being an arboreal species, I don't anticipate the burrowing being that intense because it lives in the bamboo. So I don't think it's really going to try and burrow. I think it's just going to tuck up against the cork bark and make its home, you know. So we're going to go ahead and make it so it's easy for it to do. And then I need him to show up before we actually take it out, because then if he starts this I am going to put a little bit of the cypress salt in here. I don't put this in all of the enclosures, but I feel like it might like move in there. And it'll hold too many in different ways. And I'm not going to put very much, just like a little bit here. Like that. Just to kind of give it more of an earthy feeling. Come on, baby. It's okay, relax. Now we'll get the sphagnum moss in there. And this I'm actually going to take and get in the sink, get it wet first. So like too, when I'm starting into clover, what I'll do is I'll take the sphagnum moss. Okay, there you go. So I'll take the sphagnum moss and I'll get it wet. I can squeeze all the moisture as much out as I can, and then put it in there so it just kind of naturally gives off moisture. Maybe go ahead and get. He's like a little kid. Alright, so I have this magnum moss. Now it's like a little clump, but I'm going to crumple it back out like this. Put it in the enclosure. And then just for my own personal, I'm going to put in a little leaf litter. Again, they might use that to kind of pull up into their web. I'm really not sure. Just because this is a fully new species, so we don't know what it's going to do. But that's kind of the fun of it. And also hoping for female breeding project. And then something I'm going to start doing is I have these dried up orchids. These dried up blue orchids. And I'm going to start putting these. Start putting these in the enclosures too. So I already have one in my Balfour enclosure. I'm going to go ahead and put one in here. I'm not going to give this one a water dish because I'm not going to give this one a water dish because I'm going to have to mist it pretty regularly, I think. So at that, maybe we'll put the flower up like that so that it's not down on the ground getting misted. If it gets moldy, we can replace it. Let's just do what we were going to do. I'm just going to put it down there. There we go. Alright, so this is the new enclosure. Let me go ahead and show you like that. We're going to do here. I think that this is going to be very easy. Pretty excited. So let's go ahead and get our little birdie in. Right here. Get this stuff out of the way too. If I'm done with it, that way it's not causing an issue when it comes time to do these things. Let me go ahead and pop this in the other room real quick. Also, one less place for it to hide if it does start blending. Because, like I said, it's really chill right now, but also not touching it. So this one, I have done some research on it. There's not a whole lot of information just because it is such a new species. But I'm assuming that it does need a humid environment just because, or not too humid of an environment, but an environment with ample water. Like I have some, let me put it this way, I have some tarantulas that I will let them dry out, like bone dry. I will let their clothes get bone dry because they don't need the humidity in the same way. And there are some where the humidity is even dangerous. Like I've lost a couple pink toes, avicularias, from there being too much humidity. And when I've talked to other breeders, you know, before when I was getting started with the breeding, and just talking about like what did I do wrong in this situation, almost always they're coming back to, well, did you miss it too much? I'm like, well, I didn't think it was too much. Well, it probably was, because they don't need as much humidity as you think. But I think this one is going to need at least like every couple days, especially with how much ventilation it has. This one has a lot of vertical, it has cross ventilation, and it also has the top ventilation. I'm losing my words right now, but it has ventilation on the top as well. So because of that, it'll lose a lot of the moisture that's in the enclosure versus if it were to stay like, you know, I wouldn't keep it in this. If it were to stay in this container that it's in, this one has no holes in the top, so it's only got that side ventilation. So, but being that it's got more ventilation, yeah, it's going to need more moisture, I think. It's a learning experience with this one, so we're going to find out, but I don't anticipate there being a problem with getting it humidity. But again, I'm not going to, I'm not even putting a water dish in here because I am going to miss it fairly often. And I might end up switching that up and end up putting a water dish in instead and not misting very often. So we'll see what happens with that. Alright. So this is the fun part. Let me make sure that we can get a good view on this. I think I need to get it into a different container. I haven't done it. I really like that dog's back offer. I feel like he's just gonna make it. Okay. Here we go. Oh, I'm gonna change that banner. We're not starting soon. We are. We're going. Jeez, I'm bad about that. Alright, here we go. So yeah, we're still playing dead over here, and I'm not buying it. Something also to keep in mind that you could be whispering, but if you're whispering like hard and you're breathing too hard or something like that happens, they are going to feel that and respond to it. Let's see if I can get in time for this one. Let's see if we can get in this one. Alright. Yeah. Alright, I've got him for about 5 minutes, I think. There we go. Alright, so yeah, keep in mind that your breath, breathing on this tarantula is going to affect it. It's going to make, they're going to feel the wind from you pretty intensely. Like, there's been a lot of times where I've been just talking and I make it jump and run. So, thank you, Ray, thank you. It's just, oh, like parts like this where, oh my god, oh man, like parts where like this where like the part of the lid is stuck, but it's the part right where it is. Like, so I gotta lift off this whole lid and hope that it just, my cat just jumped from the ceiling, and hope that it just like stays where it's at and doesn't want to come at me. Okay, alright. Got the dog occupied, now cat's in the way. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get it into this container. The only thing that does suck too is that I got chewed up my little tongs, so I only have these big giant tongs, which I feel like is going to be useful in this situation. But here we go. So I'm going to push my cat off the counter. I'm gonna cup it and try and, there we go. I'm gonna cup it and try and get it to go up in the cup, and then we're gonna try and get this like this, and then we'll try and do one of these and get it down, and maybe we'll just like do one of these. Oh no, we can't do that. Okay, so we'll have to get it down because this is trial run's important. Okay, so here we go. The little makeup brush. Oh, look at that. Don't be one with the container. There you go. Okay, 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 okay. No, okay. Okay, so I've got it. I just need it to go up and to go the direction I want it to go. Okay. So right now, we're right here. So we are contained, which is like control. Keep it contained. Let us get out of control. I need you to go up. Please go up. Can we talk about this? Up to yes, you can go up. Yeah, you can do it. Yes, I'm proud of you doing it. You can do it. Yeah, you got it. You got it. You got it. Stay where you are. Stay where you are. Okay. Stay where you did it. Okay. Okay. Well, let's take a second to investigate this little area where it was living for a second. What is this? Like there's a pup in here. It's a piece of bamboo. Oh, come on. So it's a little round piece of bamboo. I don't know how well you can see it because it's got some webbing on it from this little dude who's clearly been in here for way too long. So clearly this has been the temporary house and they didn't bother to package it for shipping. They just, with this little bamboo round that is moldy as shit, which is really, really old and ants. Really bad for your tarantulas. the things that will take them out the most. That's why this too much humidity can be bad, because it's bad for their lungs. And yeah, that's disappointing. But okay, hopefully we're okay. But here we go. There it is. This is our Texas Bambus, our bamboo earth tiger, and safe and sound. Hopefully, and put it in this new little house, and hopefully we're gonna see it flourish. That would be ideal. This is the front, what you're looking at now. It's all like crinkled up, but all right. So let's go ahead and get it into its new enclosure. Hopefully it's gonna go nicely for us. And it's like, I get like, it's a spider. Yeah, it's a spider, but like that's still not the way that you're supposed to treat something that's living like that. You know, you're supposed to be cool to it. Hold on, we need a secondary catch cup because I can't use the cup that's in there. Okay, grab that. I wonder what it came out of, but like if we have to catch it again, we have to catch it again. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep this off to the side. Put the lid there, put the catch cup there, catch cup, lid. All right, it's always better to have this stuff ready than try and do it. Yeah, they just feel like, I mean, some places just don't care, and I've been a little suspect, honestly, at this place, because they just seem to have everything, which is cool, which is cool that they have so much selection, but at the same time, it makes you wonder, like, how do they get that selection? Are they really playing by the rules? Is everything really kosher with how things are working out? And I think, like, the answer is no. But oh. Oh, okay. Take your bang. Oh, okay. Oh, like I said, always a freaking adventure. Okay. So maybe we try and do this and let the cork bar feet off like that. Just try it like this. Let the cork, no, it was working like this. So we're gonna move it, we're good. We're revamping. See, it's fun, but it's scary. Okay. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna revamp. We're gonna do the cork part to the side like this to kind of give us a little more space so we can kind of angle it maybe in this way. I think that's what we're doing. Definitely getting that dog to show first before we can. I'll put it to work it down there. So it should do it. Alright. So let's try run this. I think that this, and it'll just go like down. Okay, let's get this dog quiet. Just a few minutes while he's quiet. And then if we need to, we can always pull the cork or just like give it a little more, you know, privacy. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, so the way that, hold on. So the way that the cork works, first of all, just stop out, okay? Second of all, the way the cork works is angled, it's just like not working right now. We're back to original-ish placement of the cork bark. We have it closed. I'm definitely rubber banding this one. Here we go. That's the standard. Successfully we have it. And it popped in there. But they won't look in there for it. So yay. Yay. I do want to fix this cork bark. I don't like it. So we're gonna just do this now. Freaked out. There we go. Alright. Okay. That's better. Alright, I'm satisfied with that. Okay. So, right? Really fast. And went like 0 to 60. 0 to 60. That's how these Asian tarantulas are. Like old world tarantulas are fast, but Asian old world tarantulas have a different level of speed. But okay, so here we go. We get to grow and learn with this tarantula together. It's going to be fun. Hopefully, you know, it does well in our care, and we don't have to worry about any issues arising. I need to stop fussing with it. So hopefully it does well in our care. I am suspecting that it will. I haven't had any trouble with larger slings, which is what this one is. Hoping we get a molt relatively quickly, although I don't expect that we shall because it looks pretty fresh. So I think we might have to wait a couple months before we get a molt out of it, and then we'll be able to sex it and find out, do we have a male, do we have a female. We're really hoping for a female because that would be ideal if we've got a little pearl here. Then A, the females live longer, and B, it's always better to have the girl when you're in a breeding situation, especially with spiders. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. This just worked out to be just the right size. And I think that we are good on the whole. I'm gonna turn that one over this because the process. I just don't trust it. If I had masks in case I just go over right now and do that, but I don't. I have to do nylon over the top of it, but I'll keep an eye on it for now. I don't anticipate trying to escape anytime soon. But there we go. That's how I set up my enclosures. I've got my bucket of stuff. I took this one earlier. I cleaned it out. I washed it with soap and water. Got all the soap out. Just washed it with my hands. If they're dirty, sometimes it's dirty. But like if I feel like they're dirty, I'll put on some gloves and do it. But I try not to use scrubber because it'll scratch up the acrylic, and then you can't see through the glasses or the plastic as well. And I really like to have a good view of what's going on, and it's easier to show you. And then I got off the previous labeling that was on there too. And that's pretty much it. And so you roll with the start to finish of setting up an enclosure. It doesn't take that long. It's pretty low maintenance. And now keeping it clean, really I don't have to do anything. You can get springtails and put them in there. They're like a really small little bug you can get them in there, and they will be your cleanup crew. You can also buy different kinds of isopods, which are pretty much just roly-polies, but you don't want to wild catch them. You want to just buy them. I know that sounds ridiculous, and if you see the prices on them, you'd be like, and they are really expensive, but you can buy some cheaper ones, but it's always better if you're putting something in with one of your animals, you want it to be captive bred as well, just to kind of reduce the chance of parasites and things like that. Because the last thing you want to do is get like a $300-400 tarantula and wild catch some roly-polies, throw them in there, they have mice, and then you lose your tarantula to nematodes. Not fun. So those are things to consider with that. If you're doing a cleanup crew and a bioactive enclosure, you definitely want to make sure you're buying those things either online from a reputable breeder or from the pet shop. And yeah, I mean, I don't really do bioactive enclosures. I just, they don't make a mess. They just poop like birds, so it's not really anything. But this is our little buddy. I don't know what we're going to call it, but Ozzy. I'm going to have to go because my dog is losing his shit. But thank you so much for hanging out with me, Link. I'm glad you got to experience this with me. This is the first time I've dealt with this species ever, and I'm not looking forward to having to rehouse it when it gets bigger. But we do have some time. We're going to have about Ozzy. Come here, Vic. Come here. We're going to have about a year before it needs rehouse, I would say. The old world species do grow faster, so I say within a year. We're like this right now. Within a year, I expect to be about like that. And at that point, we'll be in need of a rehouse pretty quickly. So hopefully, I'm thinking full size in about 2 or 3 years. But hopefully, we molt out to female. We should get probably about 4 or 5 molts in that time. So we'll have some good opportunities to find out if it is male or female. And of course, we'll be along with that the whole time. Sunday, I'm going to be back for another stream. I have some molts that we need to set. Black Beauty molted again. And I do think that it is male, but we want to double check and just make sure. And then my Dabus pantaloris, my Guatemalan tiger rump tarantula, also molted, so we're going to snag that one. My Heteroscopa maculata molted, we're going to snag that one. So we have quite a few to check out and see if we can't sex. So that'll be a fun, we're going to call it Sexting Spider Sunday. Spider Sexting Sunday. Something that's going to sound racy, but isn't. Alright, so I'm going to get going, get this little one up away somewhere. I'm going to throw it some food. Probably do a first feeding on Sunday, so we'll do that too. So we'll do a first feeding with this one on Sunday, and we'll sex some spider molts and chit chat about how to do that. And I'm still getting new at that, so no judging about how potentially incompetent I am at the process. Alright, so thank you for joining me, Link. I hope you have a great night. I will see you in these YouTube streets, you know it, and I'll talk to you soon. Mwah. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, Link.